Your thirst traps are not trapping anyone but you. They're keeping you trapped in your own mindset that's just gonna keep attracting the same type of fish over and over and over. And the fish might be cute, but let's be real, how many of them actually stick around? What's up, baddies? My name is Rima, and you are now tuned in to the Arab and Thriving Show. I want to talk today about this whole idea that you need to go all the way out of your way to attract a partner. I want to talk about the energy around being thirsty and why that is keeping you trapped in the exact place you are trying to get out of. Stop saying and stop believing that there are not enough fish in the sea. You only need one fish. And guess what? Scrap that, okay? You are the fish. You are the fish. You're not fishing. Why can't you also look at yourself as the prize? Why do you think that you are the person that is fishing with this limited resource of amazing partners out there? I just need you to start seeing yourself also as the limited resource. You are the thing that is one of one. There are no other people like you. And there is someone who is looking for exactly you. And at some point, you two will find each other, and you need to believe that. The reason that a lot of us act so thirsty is because of the scarcity mindset. I know it impacts the Arab community differently. I won't speak on behalf of other communities, but as an Arab woman, I just turned 30 this year. And while I know things are changing, there are a lot of people in our community who still think 30 is way too old to be either finding a partner or having kids and starting a family. Because we have this warped sense of time, when you take that and you take these self-worth issues that a lot of us women have in general, it starts to make us behave in a way that's low-key, high-key, desperate, aka thirsty. We start feeling like we need to go out of our way to stalk all of these people on social media, and oh my god, he's a doctor, oh my god, he comes from the same country, oh my god, look how cute this video is of him and his mom, he must be my husband, and if he's not, then oh my god, how can I ever find someone else like him? I need you to really stop that thinking, because guess what, love? He's not looking at your profile thinking those things. He might be scrolling past and being like, oh, she's cute. He might send you a DM, but chances are there's no sense of urgency the way that a lot of us women feel when we start acting thirsty. We feel like we need to act now or else we're gonna miss our chance. We feel like if we don't catch him, then someone else will. And why? Like, why do we think like that? It comes from a place of not thinking you're good enough. It comes from a place of shame. It comes from a place of thinking, oh, well, I'm this old and haven't found someone yet, so I'm losing worth by the years. We're not a freaking car, okay? Like, this whole mileage thing doesn't apply to us. You are just as worthy when you are 40 and single with 3 kids as when you are 20 and single with no kids. You're worthy regardless. When we stop looking at ourselves and our partners as a checklist. I had a really awesome conversation with someone saying she attended a wedding where the married couple, they were both Syrian and Muslim. And when she was talking to the wife, the woman said, I didn't marry him because he's a great guy for an Arab or a great guy for a Syrian. I married him because he was just a great guy, period. Even if she was looking for a great Arab guy, which is fine. A lot of us are looking for someone who have the same culture as us. Don't let that perception that the pool just got smaller because now I've just filtered for Arab. Now I have to also readjust my standards because what's in this smaller pool is not going to be as great as if I were widening that pool. God doesn't work like that. God does not work like that. First of all, math doesn't even work like that because even within that filtered group, there are literally plenty of fish in the sea. There are so many amazing people out there. If you don't believe me on that, I really recommend you watching my Stop Saying Men Are Trash video because there might be a lot of limiting beliefs that you have in your head about what good partners are out there, and your reality is literally just going to be a reflection of what you believe. If you are someone who does believe in God and who does have strong faith, how are you going to have strong faith in every other area of your life but this? Like, do you really think God would put faith in your heart when it comes to your career, when it comes to your health, when it comes to the dream house that you want on your vision board, but not be intentional about who you're going to be matched with? Do you really think that your faith should run out when it comes to your soulmate and the person that you're arguably going to be spending the rest of your life with? That's where you should have the most faith. And I'm not going to get too into spirituality or religion, but I believe that each human being has their own purpose. And I believe that when you find your partner, the next level of each of your purposes gets activated. You have to have faith that there's someone out there for you, and that if your paths have not crossed yet, it might not be the right time. Chances are, if you're someone who's behaving in a desperate or thirsty way, God wants you to focus on yourself. And I know that that's literally the last thing you want to hear. I know. Trust me, I know. And I've heard that before in days where I didn't want to hear it. It's no coincidence that Ahmed and I started talking. And mind you, baddies, this is someone I've known for over 10 years. We never looked at each other that way. And we finally started talking during a phase of my life where I was not interested. I was not interested. When we first started talking, I was not thinking along those lines, but I was open to it. And I know we talked about thirst and being desperate. There's another side to that coin. If you're someone who is too closed off, if you're someone who, when love does knock on your door, you will not answer, you'll look through the peephole and just go back inside and ignore that person, you're scared of love. And that's something that I want you to reconsider, because love is an amazing thing. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. Like, there is no shame to that. And I love that for you. If you are wise enough to know that you're not ready, I am so proud of you. If you are someone who might be self-sabotaging, then this might be something for you to consider. So if you're an Arab baddie watching this, there's a lot of conversation around to pursue or to be pursued. AKA, am I supposed to be shooting my shot, or should I be waiting for him to hit me up? Now, the answer to that question is dependent on your heart posture. Do you prefer to be pursued, or do you prefer to pursue? Like, that, it's completely fine. Personally, I prefer to be pursued. I don't think there's anything wrong with being the pursuer. I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting your shot. But because I do have a strong personality, I wanted to know that from the outset, I could be with someone who wasn't afraid to approach me. I could be with someone who wasn't afraid to, say it with his chest, right? But if you are someone who also does want to be pursued, you need to do what I call throwing him the oop. So you might not need to shoot your shot, but throw him the alley-oop. This is a basketball reference for those of you who don't know basketball. It's when the player just kind of tosses up the ball and the other player slam dunks it. You need to give him an opportunity to slam dunk. Sometimes prospects aren't really that perceptive. I'll take Ahmed, for example. We were texting for a few days, and me throwing him the oop was literally just asking him if he likes me. I know that that seems very direct. I wasn't telling him I liked him, because at that point, I don't really know if I liked him. But I was throwing him the oop so that he could FaceTime me, which he did, and just tell me exactly how he felt about me. That was me giving him the opportunity to be forthcoming about his emotions. Now, we were already texting good morning and good night text. So at that point, it felt appropriate to just be like, he needs help. Let me just ask him if he likes me, so that I could give him the opportunity to be the pursuer. So if you are at the gym, or if you are somewhere in public, this could look like putting yourself within the sphere of having a conversation with someone, whether that's working out on a machine next to them, making eye contact, smiling. Give them the opportunity to take it from there. I know a lot of our relationships now are starting digitally, and digitally this could look like swiping on someone's story and saying something nice. I wouldn't recommend saying something about how they look or whatever, because that looks thirsty. But if there's something of substance that you can start a conversation around, I would recommend, if you are someone who does like to be pursued and doesn't want to come off too strong, it's completely okay for you to start a natural conversation. Now, if you are someone who likes to pursue, I would give you the green light to go and do that, as long as I know good and well that you are being honest about wanting to pursue. Do not be telling me that you want to pursue because you have scarcity mindset and think that if you don't make the first move, he's not going to make it. You're always going to wonder in that relationship what would have happened if you didn't go out and do that. And I don't care what anyone says, it does create a different power dynamic. It does feel nice to know that Ahmed went out of his way a couple times, several times, to pursue me. If that doesn't mean anything to you, then by all means ignore that. But if what I'm saying kind of appeals to you, then you might be wanting to pursue because of desperation, or because of being thirsty, or because of feeling like he's the prize and you're not, and he marks all of your little check boxes on your checklist. Just understand that if you're not being honest about your preferences, you're only going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt the dynamics of the relationship. It might create a lot of insecurity for you. Needless to say, if you are pursuing from a place of confidence, if you are pursuing from a place of knowing your worth and being open to love, then by all means, I give you the green light, applause to you. And I think that's amazing. And I know a lot of relationships work with that dynamic. Now, this is to all my girls who, when somebody new follows them, or when they start talking to someone new, they go back on their page and they start looking at all of their posts and trying to perceive themselves through the lens that that person perceives them. You might even post a couple cute little stories to control their perception of you. I've definitely done that. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. Definitely did that when Ahmed Ahmed and I first started talking. I didn't change myself. I didn't front or act different, but it felt kind of fun to watch my page like a movie through the eyes of this new person that I was talking to. I'm not judging you for that. I just really want to urge you not to dim yourself down or make yourself something that you're not. Don't archive certain posts if you feel ashamed of them. That's you. If you don't feel ashamed of those things, and if you didn't feel ashamed of them yesterday, then stop acting like you're somebody else. The truth is going to come out, whether it be right now or in a year, and it's not going to feel good to think that this person doesn't love you for who you are. Be unapologetically you. Be so unapologetically you because of how much you love yourself. Don't be trying to perform for somebody. When Ahmed and I first started talking, I told him everything. A lot of things that maybe Arab women shouldn't be telling someone when they're first talking, but I just wanted to know that I could be my authentic, real self, that he could know me for who I was. Of course, at that point, I was comfortable enough to open up to him. We'd both been opening up to each other, but I just didn't want to spend one more day wondering if I show him these parts of me that other people probably don't know, would he still accept and love me? I didn't want for 2 seconds to have my relationship recreate a lot of the shameful dynamics a lot of us do feel with our families or our parents or our culture. You want a safe space for yourself. So why would you start off talking to someone by dimming your own light, hiding certain things about yourself, or fabricating other parts to make yourself look different than who you really are? Don't you want to create a place where you can take your makeup off, be as silly and quirky as you are, or be as clumsy as you are, and not feel like you need to be constantly performing for someone? Don't you want to rest? Don't you want your relationship to be a sanctuary? It really all starts with the first interactions that you have. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and burp on your first date. Like, obviously, there's levels to this. What I'm talking about is the deeper personality, character traits stuff. Don't try to act like you love football if you don't. Like, stuff like that. Don't try to act like you're all into a certain music artist if you're not. If you like rock music and he likes rap, be yourself. That's what's sexy. What's sexy is being you and loving yourself. People feed off of that. When you are like feeling yourself, people cannot help but to feel that too. People don't really know what they like. Like, we don't really know what we like. We think we have this list. What we love is energy. I always thought I hated a pretty boy, hated a guy who likes attention. I was wrong. Like, I thought I hated that because a lot of those behaviors in my experience stem from insecurity. Ahmed is just someone who's literally an actor. Like, he loves all eyes on him. He loves being charming and smiling at people, and it comes from a genuine place. It doesn't come from a performative place. And what I loved the most about him was he was just not ashamed of it. When we were first talking, we went to my little sister's banquet for her Arab sorority. Shout out to EAS. But I'm like, does anyone want coffee? He's like, oh yeah, like I'll come with you. We go to the coffee place and the coffee's taking forever. And this is during the intermission of the show, and it's just a whole bunch of Arabs in this crowd, and our seats were all the way at the front. So I have social anxiety around walking into this room late, like a few minutes late, and everyone just staring at us. That stresses me out. And so I had told him, like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed. This coffee's about to be late. We're gonna walk in late and everyone's gonna stare at us. And he was like, really? I love that. He's like, when I get on flights and just walking in and everyone sees me and I'm late, I love that. Normal me would have judged the hell out of anyone for saying that, because I'd be like, ew, you're so vain, you're so full of yourself, you're so any judgment that I would have attached to it. And as we all know, judgments are just projections of our own insecurities. But there was like the bigger part of me that just admired him for that. I'm like, wow, like it's just so cool that you could say stuff like that and not feel scared that I'm gonna judge you, because I kind of am, but you don't care what I think. And I think that that's sexy. And sure enough, not only did we walk in late, not only did people stare at us, but they needed a volunteer from the crowd, and Ahmed literally got on stage. He literally sang When I Saw You by Masadi in front of the whole crowd. That moment, it wasn't the moment that I knew, but it was the moment where I was like, I like you. I didn't know that I like this quality in people, but you're making me like this quality in people. So it just goes back to the point. We don't know. We think we know everything. We think we're like, this is my checklist. He needs to look like this, talk like this. This is how he needs to act. When someone does this, he needs to respond like that. But in reality, when something is in front of you that just makes you feel differently, like it makes you feel a certain way, focus on that. You deserve more than someone who's this perfect embodiment of the best checklist you could ever curate in your room. I know we're all into visualizations, manifestations, but you deserve more than just that. You might get that and you deserve that too. You deserve everything on your checklist, but more more than just the checklist. You deserve to feel a certain way. So I urge you, when you are writing these little checklists, focus on how you want him to make you feel. That was something I was missing when I was writing out my stuff. And I almost missed Ahmed because I didn't think about how I wanted to feel. And when I was around him, there was just a feeling that I had that I'd never ever had in a relationship. And I hate to be cliche, but truly it was just a feeling of safety. I felt safe. I didn't feel like I had to perform. I didn't feel like I had to be someone I wasn't. I didn't feel like there was the weight of the world on my shoulders where I had to be this perfect, pure Arab girl. Like, I just felt like I could literally be me because he found me during a time where I was feeling myself. Like, I was loving who I was. I was loving who I wasn't. I just was in full self-acceptance mode, which allowed me to attract somebody who also was not only accepting of me, but he loved everything about me. It just made me feel so aligned and comfortable continuing on and not even changing course from how I was when I was focusing on myself. I want that for you. I just need you to know that it's in your hands. It's not like some mystical force that's going to do it for you. You need to focus on yourself. If you're someone who's acting thirsty or thinking thirsty thoughts where there's not enough fish in the sea, my time is running out, this is really for you more than anybody. Focus on yourself. I know you know how to do it. I know you know how. And I know you know that you're supposed to be doing it. Love yourself enough to wait. You're worth the wait. They are worth the wait too, but more importantly, you're worth the wait. You're worth waiting. You're worth waiting. Like, sometimes when we go to the restaurant, we get food and we don't like it, we send it back because it's worth the wait. We want better for ourselves than to just indulge in anything. No, we paid for this meal. We're spending our time at this restaurant, so we're going to wait for the thing that we actually want to arrive, even if that makes us more hungry. Apply that same logic to your life. I know you want companionship. I know you want to stop feeling lonely, but if you're lonely, then you need to be alone until you're not lonely. Truly, if you are lonely, you need to spend more time alone so that you could stop feeling lonely and actually love being alone. That way you can guarantee whoever else enters your space is just a compliment. You didn't bring them in out of desperation. You brought them in out of being a perfect complement to the beautiful, loving, thriving environment you've already created for yourself. I love you so, so, so much. Comment below letting me know, are you somebody who feels this level of thirst and desperation? Be real. Do you feel this urgency that is kind of taking control of you? And how are you working past that? I love you so much, baddies, and I will see you on the next one.